Hi, Democrats. Today is Tuesday, July 19th, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Tuesday. So, a couple things. I want to do a couple of housekeeping things. This week, I'm going to try and focus on having candidates because I think it's important for you guys to know who the candidates are who are going to be on your ballot. And I keep hearing from people all over the state that they aren't hearing about our candidates or they don't know who our candidates are. And I'm frankly quite proud of the folks who have agreed to step up and run as Democrats in this election cycle. But next week, I'm going silent. There will not be a chair's update next week. So you guys get a break, and I'll be back in August, and we'll get back focused on making sure you guys know what's going on in this election cycle. So last week, I focused on candidates that were in some of our more rural districts, our remote districts, because I think it's important that we expand the map, that right now we're heavily focused in Oklahoma City and Tulsa and Norman, and we need to expand the map so that we're more, so we're represented all over the state. But it's not fair to go all over the map and ignore Tulsa and Oklahoma City. And so today I to bring Nana Dankwa, who is running for State House, District 90. It's in Oklahoma City over near Lake Overholser. Nana is also the secretary of the Oklahoma Democratic Party. So join me in welcoming Nana Dankwa. Hey, Nana.
Hello. Hi, Alicia. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm glad that you're joining because I think you're one of those candidates. That folks don't feel like they know very well.
Okay.
But I know you're one of those candidates that I'm very proud of because I believe that we have very, very qualified candidates on our side of the aisle. We have candidates who are great just on the face and not just because you're a Democrat, but you're just great on a face. So before we talk about your district, just tell people a little bit about who you are.
Okay. Yeah. I'm actually first generation American. My parents immigrated from Ghana to Oklahoma in the mid 70s. I have an older brother, and then I was born in 1981 at a Presbyterian Hospital, which is OU Medicine now. K through 12, I did in the Putnam City School District. I've been in public schools my whole life. Shortly after graduating high school, I became a surgical tech. And then during that time, I went back to school. I decided to go back, get my degree, my bachelor's degree, and then on to law school and getting my MBA. So now I'm a father and a husband to my wonderful wife, Lauren, a father of two. My son, they're my kids. Nana's on the left there, and I'm holding my daughter, August. They're both my joy. They give me a lot of work. But yeah, so I take care of them and my family. I'm an attorney. I work in the regulatory banking industry. And I think, that's me in a nutshell. Yeah. That's kind of my background. And then, of course, like you said, I'm the party secretary, which I love. And then I did run for city council in 2020. The election was actually in 2021. And so I have run before, for those who don't know. So.
Okay. And that's where I met you.
Yes.
Did not know you, do not live in the district, but your race just naturally came across my transom and you just intrigued me. So tell everybody watching what your district is. What are your boundaries?
Okay, yeah. So House District 90 is on the southwest side of Oklahoma City. I would say that the furthest north point would be Northwest 16th, although that kind of varies as the district goes east. The furthest eastern, then I would say south is around maybe 164th, southwest 164th. Then it goes west to County Line Road, and then east to about I-44. A little past Portland going east. So,
okay. Excuse me.
The airport in the district.
The airport is in your district? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Okay. So tell me why House District 90? Why are you running now?
Well, I'm running now because, I've lived in House District 90 I'm 40 years old now. So I guess the greater part of my life. I've always enjoyed the community here. I decided to run because I feel that this is a time when I feel that this district has been underrepresented. I believe that right now, 21% of this district is under the poverty line. So, and then also we've had some issues with the major school district here with the Western High School District. So there's a lot of things that have gone unaddressed, and I just feel that they've kind of stacked up, and that these people of HD90 deserve good representation. They're good, hardworking people who come home every day and just want to, after they've done their hard work, want to relax and just enjoy their day. And I think that people like that deserve good representation, and I'm willing to do that for them.
Okay, thank you for reminding me. So Western Heights is in your district.
Yes.
And Western Heights is the school, they went bankrupt? What happened in Western Heights?
Yeah, so there was some funding issues. Also, there was a problem with the superintendent's pay. It was kind of large for any superintendent. So there was some, I believe there's some impropriety found there with the superintendent, and they're working their way through that now.
Okay, and at that time, did the current representative step in and help, or say anything, or update y'all?
Not that I'm aware of. Not at all. As far as I know that I've looked, I couldn't find anything. I don't remember hearing anything from him during that time. So, but that is kind of consistent with my entire time in HD90. So he just hasn't had a large footprint within the district.
Okay, so I am grateful for you stepping up for a whole host of reasons. One, I think those of us in leadership should step up where we see there's a gap. Two, I'm just incredibly impressed by your resume. How has your campaign been going? Could you use some more volunteers?
Oh, always. Volunteers to me are just as important. Well, just a little less important than money. But the campaign's been going really well. We're getting a lot of signed and T-shirt orders, so that's really good. That means that people out there who care, and we're going to be able to get our name out there more. I've enjoyed it, but volunteers would help. Donations would help. Even some people who would be willing to make calls and things like that. But yeah, anybody who's willing to help my campaign, please reach out. We will take anyone who's willing to do the work.
So the big deal is with this one party rule in our state, and that's really what it is. It's one party rule.
Yeah.
With this one party rule in our state, some representatives have gotten kind of complacent. They don't think that they need to campaign, and they know that as long as they have a certain letter by their name, that the chances of them getting elected is pretty easy.
Yes.
And so, and I'm saying all that, there's not a question there. I'm saying all of that because I want people to hear that unless we, A, put up candidates in some of those districts, and B, turn around and support candidates in those districts, it's going to stay the same way.
Right.
Right. Because I looked at the numbers in your race. Right. I looked at the numbers in your race. It's not an impossible seat to flip.
Right. It's doable.
And frankly, your rep doesn't have name recognition in his district.
Right.
Right. And so, but it's going to take more than us knowing what the numbers are. It's going to take people volunteering and driving you around while you're door knocking, writing postcards, doing phone banks, donating money. Right.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right.
It takes all that. Yeah. It takes work from not just the candidate, but the people who support the candidate, people within the party. And I mean, almost, going to the thing with the one party kind of rule, if you have a letter by your name, is that I think it's important, besides the issues which people care about. But as I've gone out there and I've talked to voters, they are concerned about the kitchen table issues, but they're also concerned about our democracy and where that's going. And whenever I talk to them, they have their concerns about, everything going on nationally and just what's going on in the state under a one party rule. That's kind of gone power gone awry, I guess. And so I tell them to change that. They're going to need to get involved or go out and vote. You have to go out and vote for Democrats if you want to protect this democracy. And it can't just be yelling at your TV. It has to be going out there, voting in the people that share your interest. And so the only way we can get past this particular time in our government and our democracy is for people to vote their interest. Vote for people who believe in a woman's right to the privacy of her own body. Vote for those kind of individuals, and then we won't have these results. But That's why I'm running. That's why I think a lot of the other Democratic candidates are running. And we hope that you guys support us. And I think that we cannot sit this out. We have to go vote. And this midterm is crucial. So
I'm going to piggyback on what you said. We have to more than vote our issues. We absolutely have to vote our issues, but we can't just vote our issues. We also have to vote for people who won't set about destroying the systems that help our right. So all the people who think that they are pro-choice voters, but then they don't vote for pro-choice representation, it doesn't work. And so it's not just about your issues, and we got to vote our issues, but you have to vote for the people who aren't going to destroy those issues, aren't going to destroy the systems.
And will protect the issues or the values you still have, the things that the rights we still have at this moment. So you want to vote those people not only to give you the rights you want, but also to protect the rights that you still have. So all this is very important. You have to vote for the people that who will align with your interests.
All righty. And so just so that I'm clear, Nana Dankwa is for bodily autonomy.
Yes.
Okay. That's a big one right now. And I just want to make sure. And I'm careful when I say bodily autonomy, because I'm not just talking about the most recent decision. I'm talking about the decisions that they're threatening as well. Right. There's the Roe decision, but then there's also marriage equality. Right.
Yes.
And that is under attack. It is absolutely under attack. And if we only vote because of a certain letter, or we only vote for a certain issue, they're going to destroy.
Right. And that's kind of where we find ourselves. I mean, I think, Democrats have always been engaged, but I think that it's time for us to engage more. I heard Ted Cruz talking about going after, I think it was marriage equality. I think so. So these are, and then Justice Thomas in his concurrent opinion on this recent Roe decision, he talked about a lot of the substantive rights that they may or may not attack, which I find is interesting because one of those is being interracial marriage, which is a substantive right, and I know that he is in one, so I do like to see how that's going to play out. But
actually, both of those men are in interracial marriages, frankly. Because Ted Cruz is Raphael Cruz.
Yes, that's true. This is true.
Right. And so it's funny, but it's not so funny. And so I bring those up because we think of those as national issues, but they're sending them back to the states.
They're sending them back to the states. And we're going back to states' rights, which was a big issue, which we try to overcome that with the Civil Rights Act and the Civil Rights Movement. So it does feel like we're moving backwards. Again, it's going to take us to vote. It's going to take us. We have to vote in this midterm, and we have to show that we do care about this democracy, and we want to keep this promise for our children and for the future. We want them to grow up in the same world we got to grow up in.
And this is why we need to elect Nana Dankwa to House District 90. We have to build up our representation at the state legislature, since they're going to be sending stuff, and we have extremists in our state legislature right now. The one-party rule is extreme, and I know Nana is not an extremist.
Thank you.
We've got to vote for Nana. So to find out more about how you can help Nana, because maybe I didn't ask all the right questions, please go out to nana4hd90.com.
That's right.
But I'm going to give homework. After you donate to Nana, After you donate to Nana, please find another candidate to donate, because Nana's going to need, it's going to take more than us just putting Nana in. We're going to need more folks. We're going to need more folks in office to help stop the tide of extreme legislation. And I like that you're an attorney who can read legislation, and that will be incredibly helpful for us.
Yes, I actually enjoy it. So kind of.
Nice. Somebody has to.
Yes.
Nana, thank you so very much for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. If you're watching me live, or if you're watching later, please figure out how you can help Nana. We've got to expand our footprint in the state legislature. And you just heard from a very good, very qualified, very knowledgeable candidate here in Nana Dankwa.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thanks. So I'm just going to keep bringing you candidates. because I think that if you heard from our candidates, if you knew who we had, you would be more engaged, and you would be heartened that we're not just putting names on the ballot. We're putting actual qualified folks up for you to vote for. The challenge is they can't get there without your vote. So everybody needs to be registered to vote and have a plan. If they're not, you need to be registering them to vote and helping them make a plan to show up. So if you live in Southwest Oklahoma City, I implore you, vote for Nana Dankwa, and I will be back here tomorrow at 4:15. You guys have a great one.